Hey friends, Steve here at Forest Lawn in the Hollywood Hills, and I'm here in this section just across from the White Chapel that I think you could probably see there, just right across the street, pretty close to the front gate. And I'm here at the gravesite, or one of the grave sites, of Michael Hutchence from In Excess, and he just happens to be one of a number of famous people who have more than one gravesite. From what I've read, when he died, he was cremated, and his ashes were divided in three. I believe his mother, his father, and his partner all received a third of the ashes, and I'm not really sure who placed his ashes here in the Hollywood Hills, or at least the third of his ashes here at this gravesite. I read, I believe it was his Find a Grave memorial page, that his father scattered his ashes in Australia, and so I'm guessing it was either his mother or his longtime girlfriend or partner who placed them here. If you happen to know, leave a comment. In addition to his Find a Grave memorial page for his gravesite here in the Hollywood Hills, he has a second Find a Grave memorial page for his gravesite located in Australia. His ashes aren't actually buried there, so his very nice memorial marker is listed as a cenotaph. It's located at Northern Suburbs Memorial Garden and Crematorium in North Ryde, Australia. Michael Hutchence was the co-founder of the rock band In Excess and also the lead singer and lyricist. He died at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Double Bay, Sydney, Australia on November 22nd, 1997 at the age of 37. The coroner's report says that he took his own life, but in an Australian 60 Minutes episode that I just recently watched, Paula Yates said that she believes it was an accident. She said he was madly in love with their young daughter, and said she didn't believe that he would ever leave her in that way. Even though Hutchence was born in Sydney, Australia, and the band was Australian, the group sold more than 75 million records worldwide, so it's not completely surprising to find his second gravesite here in the US. And then the other day, I just happened to remember that Dinah Shore had two gravesites, and that another famous actress also had two gravesites. So I thought, well, that might make an interesting visit to share with all of you. And I'm hoping that some of you will know of other famous people with more than one gravesite. And if you do, leave a comment and let me know where they're laid to rest. Let me know where both gravesites are. And if I'm able to, I'll visit them for a second video. Actress Jayne Mansfield is another famous person who has two gravesites. Now, her real gravesite is back, I believe, in Louisiana. But here at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, she has a cenotaph. And a cenotaph just means the person has a plaque or a marker or a gravestone, but the person's not actually buried there. It's just really a memorial. So sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes people are cremated, and their cremated remains are buried or interred in two different places. And sometimes people just have two or three gravesites because, well, lots of different reasons, but one of the reasons is that they're buried in one place, but they're so well known for something else, or so well known in more than one place, that they decide to have, or their family decides to also have them remembered with a memorial marker in another place. And since she was one of the Hollywood greats, it makes perfect sense that she has a headstone here at Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Hollywood. Like Hutchence, Jayne Mansfield was also very young when she died. She was only 34 years old when she died in an automobile accident in New Orleans, Louisiana on June 29, 1967. And again, like Hutchence, she's buried in the same area where she was born. She was born in 1933 in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, and she's laid to rest at Fairview Cemetery in Penn Argyle, Pennsylvania. Hollywood Forever Cemetery is just about 10 minutes on the other side of the hill from Forest Lawn Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills. And the next cemetery where I'm headed is located about 20 minutes southwest of here. Hillside Memorial Park in Culver City is where half of singer and entertainer Dinah Shore's cremated remains are interred. Her two final resting places are both located here in Southern California. Hillside Cemetery is a Jewish cemetery, and the other cemetery is not. A very popular singer, actress, and TV show host, Dinah Shore lived to be 77 years old, dying on February 24, 1994, in Beverly Hills, California. Her Find a Grave memorial page says that she was cremated, but what I find interesting is that these crypts here are full-body crypts. But her niche at the other memorial park is a cremation niche.
So if she was cremated, it's possible that her cremated remains are just interred here in a much larger crypt. And as you can see here, she's on the same wall and just a few rows away from singer Edie Gourmet's crypt. This corridor and courtyard is located just on the back side of the mausoleum that you see at the top of the hill when you come in through the front gates. Her second final resting place is located a couple of hours east of here in the Greater Palm Springs area at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Cathedral City. She had 70 hit recordings during her career, and in 1951 she was the first woman to host her own variety TV show. But here in the desert, where she owned a home for most of her adult life, and where we have around 100 golf courses, she's probably best remembered for establishing the LPGA Colgate Dinah Short Golf Tournament. It's been one of the most popular events here in the desert for decades. So, do any of you plan to have more than one final resting place? If so, I hope you'll share your story with us in the comments section. This week, I want to give a shout out and a very big thank you to my newest Patreon supporters, Lisa Reinhardt and Anna Navarro. Thank you, Lisa and Anna, for your extra generous donations to my channel. They're very appreciated and definitely help make future trips like this possible. So until next time, thanks for sharing the memories, everybody.